All right. The last technique for today. And again, it's marketing, but it's also, it really is sales. Trust me, it really is. I've seen it work, and I'll tell you how it works at the end here. Always look for ways to be helpful. And this technique is for everyone, but it's especially for people who are selling products, because I know you can't just give away what you've got. You've got to get extra creative in what you give away. But you can always be helpful. You just need to find ways in all situations. And this is, by the way, is networking 101. It's a great approach for turning networking into sales. But you can be doing it even when we're networking virtually here. Let's see. You don't have to be helping with what you sell. Now, you can be. Like, I teach what I call Buddha hands. This is where you rub your index finger with your thumbs when you get nervous, say, speaking in public, or any time you're in public. It's a very subtle thing that people just don't see when you're holding your hands down at your side. And it's a great one. And I do share that. I've sat at tables where people are about to go speak, and I teach them how to do this. And it helps because that lowers their stress levels. But that's not what I'm always doing when I'm being helpful. I'm looking for any way that I can be helpful. I'm also going to be helping someone carry something out to their car after a networking event, back when we had those in person. I'm going to be helpful with referrals whenever I can be. And you can be helpful with information. So maybe you know how to use Zoom and somebody else doesn't, and they're all scrambling to do it now. Teach them how to use Zoom, even if that's not your business. What happens is you become known as a helpful person. People like you, and they want to send you business. So the best example I've ever seen of this was just last month, probably 2 months ago now. Someone I know who sells Monet and is also an Uber driver, and I think they have a third business. This person was at a networking event. It was in person. And they were being just the helpful person that they are. They were giving directions for the best route to get to some place. And people were asking her, well, how would they get lifts home from her as an Uber driver? And then they were asking, well, how could they request her as their driver to the airport, in a couple of weeks? People wanted to give her money. They were looking for ways to do it. So she got business from being helpful. Now, of course, she had to say what she does. She couldn't keep that hidden. But she's very upfront. I drive for Lyft. I love doing that. And I have my Monet products, which I think are wonderful. And whatever the third thing is. So everyone had heard that. And then when she was helpful, people were like, oh yeah, this is somebody I want to support. So being helpful can be a great sales technique.